Dwelling in the faith lane with Christine Atalinda.
Yes, welcome our dear viewers. Welcome to yet Dwelling in the Faith Lane. We are back. And this time round, we are sharing personal life experiences that can help anyone out there. This is a different episode and it's gonna be a life-changing experience for you. I'm not alone today. I'm with the most gorgeous Carol. Carol, I don't know your other name. Welcome to the studios. For someone out there who would want to know, who is Carol? Who is Caroline?
Oh, Caroline Maria is a graduate. She works as an administrator and in a university. She's the last born of Mrs. family of about 9.
Hey, one mother, one father.
Not really, but we are mixed up. With that, actually, it taught me that children are not by birth only. They can be by nurturing, they can be by birth.
Adoption?
Yes, adoption. So in our family, it is just like extended family.
Okay.
Yes. So
In that entire extended family, you are the last born. This calls for a lot of change in you. And I think it speaks volumes on how you speak.
Oh, okay. It can be a push somehow, somewhere, but not really, not entirely.
Oh, okay. So basically that is the insight about you. So you mentioned you were a graduate. What is this that you graduated in?
I graduated in Bachelor's of Accounting and Finance at Uganda Martyrs University. Yes.
Accounting and Finance, and then now you're an administrator.
Yeah, life surprises. I don't, ever since I knew how to talk, because all my sisters, my brothers are far beyond. All their graduations, when you see the videos, they used to ask me, what would you want to be? The first graduations, I would go like, I want to be an accountant, I want to be a nun.
Hey, you wanted to become a nun? Me too.
But along the way, I think that is the one I follow. When he graduated, they asked me the same question because they used to ask me. So they asked me the same question. I want to be an accountant. And then they're like, what happened to the nunship? I don't know, but I wanted to be an accountant. So I pursued accounting, but then you know how the environment of work is.
You're happier being an administrator than being
an accountant.
You know, when you're there busy counting people's money and it's not yours is also not nice. So about this nun issue, when did you feel like you wanted to become a nun?
I am not sure, but I used to. Okay, I see the videos and the answer to the question, what do you want to be? Your sister is graduating in this, your brother is graduating in this. How about you? My answer would always be, I want to be a nun and an accountant. So I don't know what was pushing me to be a nun, but I think that is 2017. No. 2015, 2016. That's when that desire to be a nun
Went out.
Yes, I don't know how it went away, but
I think I still have it, though I wouldn't want to be a nun in the sense of the nuns, like that life is very boring. But I think they are part of them. Okay, what they used to tell us. I even had the chance of being in a nun school for some years, but for me it was basically watching movies. I watched movies where there were nuns. There is that holiness that is portrayed on the top that you really feel as a young child, I want to belong here. And then when you go to Sunday school, you're told you shouldn't sin, and you're seeing as if these other people are sinning, and the nuns are not sinning. So you want to get into that. But when I tested them, I said,
being a nun, it's so big. It's not all about the the attire. It's about the spirit of serving God. So, and you're brought up in a family where church and prayer, it has to be, you have to pray. The desire to pray was put in us. It was planted in us. I was not surrounded by nuns. I was surrounded by normal people, but loved God. So I think that's how it came about.
You mentioned about your accounting and everything. How was your school life like?
My school life was, I can say it had a bit of mediocrity and comfort, I can call it that way. No stress. And recently, I think yesterday but one, I told my coworker, I want to go back to school, but if I'm to go back to school, this time round, I want to be serious. Because I think I have gotten the deliverance that I need in regard to my academics. Because I see my reports from baby class where I am. Baby class, it was okay, top P1, P2. So things turned in P3, where I started being a mediocre in my academics. Not because I did not get what they used to teach me. I used to get it. But at the same time, I did not realize it by the time I was in P3 because I was very stubborn. The first stick is being lit by Carol, but you'll never find me at so maybe.
Wait a minute, I used to do that in class. I get to class, I find a group of people. I would actually leave my desk, say for night prep. I leave my desk, go to another person's desk, start up a conversation. We talk about movies we watched during holidays. Did you watch this one? Did you watch this one? We are talking. And immediately, like, other people gather in. As when others get in, and I sense somehow there is some danger, I go back and sit on my desk and become very serious. Inside my book, I open my Bible. When the teachers that are supervising night prep come, I am the most innocent person.
That is it. That's how I used to do my things. And now, so I used to look at my academics and say, maybe I'm not concentrating very well. And gladly enough, I had this other part of me, MDD, entertainment and drama. So music used to be there, dancing, play. So they used also to take my time. So I thought maybe I'm not concentrating enough. That's why I'm having this, the 50s, the 60s.
So when did this music end? Like, I want us to get into something. You're mentioning about the music and everything. Then did you carry on this entire music dancing thing until, or it ended somewhere, but still the grades remained the same?
By the time I was in P6, I switched to a school. My former school they were giving my all attention to our talents. So we are given a platform where our talents are built. So coming to this new school, God always made a way. They had invested in music, dance and drama. I also got. So as we are performing, someone saw me and told my mother, I want to take her. I want to all the tuition is mine, but if I'm to get her and put her in my school, my mother was like, no. So that's where I think the talent, the serious talent was broken off.
Of MDD.
Of MDD.
You can sing, dance, what do you do? So we lost a future Juliana Kanyomos. Okay.
Oh my, okay. So, but we do it as fun, where there is music or my culture dances, no matter which culture, you find me. So I carried it on secondary, university, but still the grades were still the same. So when we came to senior, to secondary, that's when I realized that, by the way, I used to get everything in class. But then, how come when you reach in the papers, I do not? You read a question
And you don't remember anything.
not even remembering anything. Even making sense of that question is a problem. Yes, like knowing that they need this used to be a problem.
How were you doing your exercises in class? Were you passing the exercises?
Very well, courseworks very well, but exams. So you reach, words disappear, connecting sentence becomes a problem. Then you're like, okay, now what do they want? So you took some, like you just take time reasoning. Maybe they
And
want
there's
this.
even not enough time to reason.
You have only 3 hours and
There's
30
not
minutes.
enough time to reason.
So I used to struggle with that every exam, till my last exam of the university. I used to struggle with that.
Didn't you try to seek for help, say
No.
from teachers or anywhere?
No. Now that one comes back to my family. We had a big family. Right now we are 9, but it's so much than that. My mom used to have a saying that in my home there is no road. It's a home, it is a family home. No matter who you are welcome. So whenever I used to go back home, I used to find new faces. But these new faces, sometimes they're welcoming, sometimes they're not welcoming.
True.
But in my mother's face or appearance, we had to be good. To an extent, I can even count times where my bed was my bed. If Tina, you come home, my bed can become your bed comfortably.
You share a bed.
No, I find
Another person
I find
sleeps
myself
in your bed.
Yes, I find myself
Not,
like
not for my kids.
yes, but we got to know that is her. She loves to share. She rather not eat and someone who has come in her family eats. We grew up knowing if someone comes, make them comfortable and find your way. So in that life, I grew up a lonely life.
Someone told me when a visitor comes, make sure they don't stay so comfortable for them to remain for long. You know, some people just decide to come and spend 3 months at your place. No, don't make them comfortable. They should go back home.
We used not to have that. So in that sense, I grew up a lonely life in a big family.
Okay.
So I come home knowing now I don't have a place here. So I have to find myself.
You don't have a bed.
I don't have.
And you were the last born.
Yes, that's what I'm telling
Your mom
you.
was a weird one because last borns, at least their things have to be. For me, I used to see our last born. It was another thing, my dear.
These other things were okay, but coming home, like sharing, blah blah, those things. No.
Last borns, you don't even
Yes.
touch their things.
No, we're different. That's why I'm saying, me being who I am, it is. I cannot say that it is because that I'm a last born. No. That privilege, I know where I used to use the privilege of being a last born and not. So I grew up in that lonely life because I knew. Even when you say this, man will say, no, it is okay. We shall do this. It is okay. And she was a tough one. So reaching out to her and suggest something, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't suggest
Me,
anything.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
Because we didn't have that relationship growing up. I didn't have that mother relationship growing up. She was there. She was good. But in a way, we were not
You
close.
were not friends.
Yes, we are not friends. And telling daddy about it, I know.
So who did you really confide in if you couldn't confide
Myself and
in
my
yourself?
Yeah, I have in our house. I have corners that I say, yeah, that's where at least I found you, God. There I used to cry and you listen to me because he's the only one who knows most of the things that we are sharing right now. I used to tell him that this is like this, my academic is like this is like this. So he really knows.
And you couldn't tell your mother? That
No, not my
academic-
mom, not my sisters, not my auntie, not my dad.
No one reached out to know how you were doing?
as long as that's what I do, as long as you're not a failure in class, you've passed, it is okay. So Carol, where's your report? Here it is. Let me see. Okay. Oh, you've not failed. We pray for a better performance, and it is done.
No, I grew up with a tough mother, but she would find time to ask you how you're doing.
Not mine. Not my parents.
Not your parents. Didn't this push you into getting into relationships so fast? Because when people are having that void, they try to fill it up.
Not really, because being the last born, I have sisters and they're far old. We have a gap of 8, 7, 5. My brother still. So they thought the way you've been thinking, that I was pampered. In my understanding, I was nowhere to be pampered. So there was that rage between brothers and sisters. So in them treating me that way, I thought, I think there is no, if a brother can do that, if a sister can do that, then how about the person you do not know? So even in the world, I kept to myself. Yes, I would give you, you come to me, but me sharing unto you,
you became an introvert because of the
environment. Yes, the nurturing. Even when I come and tell you, like I tell my sister, they think, they just say, that is you. So I was not given attention.
There was no love, in short. You were not loved.
So I grew up knowing it is me and my problem, and I have to find a way of solving this problem.
Okay. So I'm trying to understand, how was your case different? Because most people that are finding these challenges usually get into love so fast.
I didn't have that love. Now, okay, if I'm to think about it, was it primary 1, primary 1, primary 2, one of the two. We used to have, I think primary 1, we used to have, my mom used to have a business, but far from home. So after school, I go. That's where I go and try to see what is there. So there was one evening back from school. I think we were playing. I don't remember very well the circumstance, but I remember there is a man. I think I saw him after 10 years, and I recognized him. So when he came on to me, I thought, mommy's friend, he always comes, it is okay. But then, surprisingly, the guy raped me. So I'm like, okay. So ever since then, I closed doors to men. So finding relationship was not my solution. It was not my issue. And I think the only friend I had was my dad in a male figure. Then the rest, you're either my brother or my friend.
You didn't tell your mother about it?
Introvert.
I thought this introvert thing had come in later on in your life, but P1?
Ever since I was young, that's how life has been. It is you and you, no anyone else. So if you talk about my problems, sharing them, all having relationship, so that these people coming into my life to fix what is being caused from home, no, for me it wasn't a solution at all.
Dwelling in the Faith Lane with Christine Atalinda.